It is Thursday, January 31. We have some major news. Attorney General and Minister of Legal Affairs Basil Williams announced that government will be filing its case at the appeal court following the recent ruling by Acting Chief Justice Roxanne George. Details in this report.
It's just another day in the life of the courts, and the ruling of the Chief Justice is stage one. We had said that they needed to have 34 votes and not 33. And why is that? It's because you require an absolute majority, what we call an absolute majority, as against a simple majority. The simple majority is 33.
Following the Chief Justice ruling today, the Attorney General explained that absolute majority is stronger than the simple majority in the 65-member Parliament, and therefore
33 cannot be the same vote for the absolute majority. And in any event, we are talking about a parliament at 65. It's an odd number parliament, and the cases show when you have an odd number parliament, to get the majority, you divide it by half plus 1. And when you divide 65 by half, you get a fraction. And since there are no half human beings, you have to round up the fraction to the next whole number.
The Attorney General said that the government is confident that they have a strong case to move forward.
And just as happened in Cedric Richardson, where we went on appeal to the Court of Appeal, and then from the Court of Appeal to the CCJ where we won it, and stopped Jacques Diop from saying that he could have a third term, we're going all the way again. All right? So that's what I want to say, and there's no need to weep and gnash teeth. Our courts are a hierarchical system. Our final court is the CCJ. So, like in the GCOM chair, when Nandala them lost, that they appealed to the Court of Appeal. So it's all part of the process. So nothing is over until the CCJ makes the final determination.
The Chief Justice will give the judgment on Wednesday, February 6th, so that the government can prepare its appeal. Seneca Thorne, InfoHub.
The Acting Chief Justice this afternoon ruled that constitutionally, dual citizens cannot serve as members of Parliament. Here's more.
Conclusion. Thus, I hold that the declarations sought at paragraphs 1 and 2 are granted. The effect of these declarations is that anyone who holds dual citizenship as defined within the parameters of Article 155(1)(a), as discussed above, cannot lawfully be nominated or elected as an MP.
The Acting Chief Justice explains what Guyana's Constitution says with regards to this matter.
Article 156, Subarticle 1, Subarticle D of our Constitution provides as follows. A member of the National Assembly shall vacate his seat therein, subject to the next following paragraph, if any circumstances arise that if he were not a member of the Assembly would cause him to be disqualified for election as a member thereof by virtue of the preceding article of any law enacted in pursuance thereof. This is to say, if, as in this case, a member is found to be disqualified due to dual citizenship, he would be required to vacate his or her seat, or rather he or she would be required to vacate his or her seat, though any challenge regarding such would have to be commenced by way of petition.
In her ruling, the Chief Justice noted that this will have implication for all dual citizen members of Parliament who now have to resign or renounce their citizenship. Reporting for InfoHub, Felicia Valenzuela.
Prime Minister Moses Nagamutu says government officials have embarked upon numerous fan-outs across Guyana to fully brief citizens on what's happening in the country. This was disclosed during his weekly Facebook Live. Rebecca Ganesh has the details.
There is a fan-out exercise by government officials. During this week, a group of ministers will fan out into the Rupununi, into the deep south of our country, to touch base with our Guyanese citizens, mostly our citizens of indigenous origins, and they will inform them, fully brief them as to what is happening in their state, the state of Guyana.
Ministers of government began their outreaches on January 25th at Border Market and continued on January 30th at the Stabroek Market Square, where they interacted with citizens and vendors to learn of some of the issues affecting their daily lives.
So all over Guyana, whether it is quarantine, whether it's West Berbice, West Demerara, Essequibo Coast, Essequibo Islands, the Rupununi, and other parts of the hinterland, your government is there providing you information, providing you services, and make sure that our country continues to make the incredible progress it has been making over these last few years. And so we want to assure you that we are continuing the work for which we have been elected.
Prime Minister Nagamutu, along with Noel Holder, Minister of Agriculture, Minister of Public Infrastructure David Patterson, and Minister of Communities Ronald Bulkan will be in Essequibo tomorrow to meet with residents. For InfoHub, Rebecca Ganesh.
Still to come, RAID project taking root in Ithaca and ICT hub opens in West Rheinveld. These and more when we return. Stay with us.
The future of Guyana has never looked better. Our nation is on the cusp of a development program like never seen before. While Guyana is now emerging as an energy giant through the discovery of massive reserves of oil and natural gas, it is your government's intention that the huge benefits emerging from this will go where it matters most, to you, the people of this beloved country. There is a surge of confidence in the way Guyana is governed once again, and the level of investor interest is unprecedented. Guyana is poised to become the breadbasket of the region, and the pace at which this nation will grow through prudent fiscal management will be nothing short of impressive. But more than anything else will be the way every Guyanese, regardless of color, class, or creed, becomes a part of this historic period of national transformation, sharing in the wealth and well-being of it all as one Guyana.
Welcome back. In other news, Minister of State Joseph Harmon this morning told regional representatives the issue of disaster risk management should be the concern of all. Details in this report.
In many communities, you find that people believe that this disaster risk, disaster management is primarily the job of the Civil Defense Commission. And so it is important that we understand, and this is why I believe this conference is so important, that disaster risk, disaster management starts from this level. You and the people under you are the first responders. And in very many cases, you will be the last responders. Because what we envisage is that all of the capacities to deal with a disaster will reside in the regions.
Minister Harmon was at the time delivering remarks at the inaugural Regional Disaster Risk Management Conference hosted by the Civil Defense Commission in collaboration with the Ministry of Communities. The minister reminded the regional representatives of the role they play in disaster risk management.
It is to you that the people of the region look for development. It is to you that they will look for first responses to tragedies and disasters. And it is to you that they will expect answers. I believe Guyana has moved from a situation where everything resides on central government. I believe we have changed that paradigm which says that unless the minister is there, nothing can happen. We have restored the efficacy of our local government system. We have restored the authority of the regional democratic councils to manage their regions, manage their neighborhoods.
The conference aims to engage key local government stakeholders to review, evaluate, and strengthen the regional disaster risk management system. This is the first year for the conference and will focus on enhancing coordination for regional resilience. The Rural Agricultural Infrastructure Development RAID project is finally taking root in Ithaca as farmers anticipate significant returns and contribution to Guyana's agricultural sector. Here's more.
Finance Minister Winston Jordan and Agriculture Minister Noel Holder spearheaded a visit to farmlands in Ithaca, where 150 acres of fertile land is receiving infrastructural improvements under the RAID project. Minister Jordan said that of the 4 East Coast areas identified for interventions under the project, Ithaca had experienced many challenges. Nevertheless, today farmers and residents interested in farming can now access these lands. As an incentive, farmers receive seedlings for crops.
Ithaca is a bit of a troublesome of the lot, and I paid quite a bit of attention to it to make certain that we are where we are today. And I'm happy that significant progress has been made on this part of the project, to the extent that we could be handing over seedlings and coconut and so on. Food is going to be important, far more important than oil. And to the extent that we could put people back on the land, and we can continue to give them support, whether it's the marketing, the agri-extension and so on, we will commit to provide both of those so that the farming can be viable.
Cash crop farmer Ruleu Redok, who has been farming for more than 15 years, says that the RAID project means a lot to farmers in the area. He also supports the vision of sustainability and hopes to see it being replicated in other areas of agriculture.
One of the main challenges that worried me was marketing. But now we get to understand that all that will be addressed. And secondly, food juice from farm to market was another problem today, especially now in the weather condition. And we also raised that issue with the minister, and he said that will be addressed also.
The Rural Agricultural Infrastructure Development Project, RAID, is a $12 million loan project made possible by the Government of Guyana and the CARICOM Development Fund. The initiative ensures sustainable farming in communities where there has been the construction of secondary drainage and irrigation canals and hydraulic structures, rehabilitation of access dams, clearing of land, and the establishment of pasture land and farm plots. Reporting for InfoHub, Felicia Valenzuela.
The Ministry of Public Telecommunication continues to fulfill its promise to enhance access to the Internet as a new ICT hub was commissioned at the West Rhymeville David Rose Center. Ayana George has our final report.
Addressing the gathering at the commissioning ceremony, Minister of Public Telecommunications Catherine Hughes said the government is committed to providing communities across Guyana with access to high-quality ICT infrastructure that will provide members of the community with access to online government services and assist students and other persons engaged in academic pursuits.
Today we are opening the 172nd. We have opened 172 ICT hubs across the length and breadth of Guyana. Oh my, y'all give me a clap for that, huh? And really, this is our commitment as a government to reaching out to communities and giving you the tools that will make it possible for you to grow.
The minister also assured that training will be made available through her ministry.
I'm happy to announce that we have agreement with the Department of Youth and Sport and also with STEM Guyana. And working together, we're going to be able to get to more places and do training. And that training could be how to use the computer, how to use the laptops. We've done some training in website designing. We've done training in coding, how the computer really works.
Minister Hughes also highlighted the ICT Hub contains over 100 soft copies of textbooks from the Ministry of Education aimed to assist students with their homework and research. One happy parent related to InfoHub how delighted she was with the opening of the ICT Hub in the West Rhymeville community.
I would encourage other children to come out in the afternoon to learn about the computer, because you know, in times to come, everyone will have to know about computer technology. So I would encourage other children in our area to come out at the David Rose section.
Reporting for InfoHub, Ayana George.
That's all for this evening. Connect with us on WhatsApp, like and subscribe to our Facebook page for notifications. You can also follow us on Instagram for updates and visit our website at dpi.gov.gy. Your bridge and weather reports are up next. Goodbye.